Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. Jarvis Landry past the 20. And he'll... Welcome to Madden NFL 20. Here you can try the all-new QB1 face of the franchise or enjoy classic Madden with Madden Ultimate Team franchise or a quick pickup game in exhibition.
Ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound to surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke. No, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke.
Hello, everyone. It's the coach. Welcome to EA Sports coverage of the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl from right here in Orlando, Florida. Coming up, the AFC looking to make it 3 in a row as they square off against their rivals from the NFC. I'll be back at halftime, but first, let's get you downtown to Camping World Stadium. Standing by our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on. Aldrich Rosas of the Giants has the honors as we get underway in the NFL Pro Bowl. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. There's a carry for James Conner of the Steelers. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. DeMarcus Lawrence of the Cowboys there on the tackle. Charles, this the 2019 Pro Bowl. The AFC's won both games that have been played here in Orlando since they moved it here. Both have been competitive, 20-13 2 seasons ago, and then last year in 2018 it was 24-23 the final.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, Travis Kelce, Lorenzo Alexander were the game MVPs, offense and defense respectively. And then last year, Delaney Walker of the Titans, their tight end, he won it on offense, and Von Miller of the Broncos won it on defense.
Mahomes to throw on second down. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A look at the starters defensively now for the NFC.
Playing in his 11th season in the NFL is defensive back Malcolm Jenkins, who entered with the New Orleans Saints as a cornerback before shifting back to safety, where he's had his best years. Terrific football IQ, tremendous tackler, can also guard receivers in the slot.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now Mahomes. Caught left side, Hopkins. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And the NFC is going to get the football back in excellent field position. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really establish something there. They didn't get it. Now they got to make sure that they don't lose their focus.
Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. Well, we can continue to talk Pro Bowl as we go along, but let's talk a little Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, 1 week from today over in Atlanta, New England taking on the Rams. Time for your Super Bowl prediction, CD. What do you think?
Well, everyone thinks defense when they think the New England Patriots, but in the time that they've had their head coach and their quarterback, Tom Brady,
and he is in. Touchdown NFC. 24 yards. And the NFC has taken the early lead. So the NFC with our first touchdown of the game. And, of course, we'll probably see some offense in this one. I don't know, though, that we'll see what we saw in 2013 when the NFC posted 62 points.
You talk about pyrotechnics. That was crazy, even for a Pro Bowl. 62 points. I think you wore out your voice in that one, talking about all the touchdowns that were scored.
I would love to see 63 or more, though, I got to tell you. All about offense in this thing.
Pro Bowl offense. Let's go.
This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. That'll bring up second down. You look back a few years ago, Charles, when the Pro Bowl did that 3-year experimentation. I know you're a traditionalist. You like AFC versus NFC.
Yes, I do.
But for the games 2014, 15, and 16, they tried something a little different. They held essentially a fantasy draft for players. Year 1, it was Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders as captains. Year 2, Michael Irvin and Chris Carter. And then in year... And a big one! loss here as he's taken down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. Well, it was second and long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
On third and long, it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was the veteran safety, Malcolm Jenkins, who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly third and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the NFC will take over first and 10. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's NFC football here to begin quarter number 2. Now Breeze. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. And he's going to get this inside the 30. NFC South to NFC South. Breeze to Julio Jones for a first down. Breeze now on first down. The left side completion to Jones. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
think. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he...
And he will score. Touchdown, NFC. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the NFC adds on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The AFC offense making their way back out. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A big play there for the AFC. 43 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And going deep, and he will score. Touchdown AFC. Tyreek Hill, 32 yards. And the AFC able to cut it to within a score. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The offense for the NFC back out there. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
We mentioned the history of this game, the Pro Bowl. Of course, for many folks our age, the Pro Bowl always meant a trip to Hawaii. You know, they held it there from 80 till 09, and again for a handful of years in this decade before the last 3 being here in Orlando.
And there's something to be said, no doubt about it, for getting to go to Hawaii. Imagine being named a Pro Bowler and going home and telling your family, we're headed to Hawaii for a vacation. But think about going to Orlando, especially if you've got kids. All the theme parks, all the great things to do, plus not nearly as long a flight no matter where you come from in the United States. I think it's a big deal and a good thing to have it here in Orlando.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. You can count his carries on 1 finger. They've only given him the rock 1 time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Throw left side, complete. That's Gordon. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Well, we've talked about this game being hosted here in Orlando, and you and I are quite familiar with this place, especially you. You live, what, 20, 25 minutes from here?
Yeah, not bad at all, right? An easy trip to come right to the studios here in Orlando. You, of course, have to give a little bit more effort.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. They go play fake. Mahomes. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
something
well, else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. And he's the epitome of what we call a move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he...
A breakaway for Michael Thomas. Touchdown! Michael Thomas. 63 yards. And the NFC able to widen their advantage. That's what we want right there, CD. It's a Pro Bowl. Give us some of these long touchdowns.
We want plays that cover a lot of ground. We want long-distance plays, whether long-distance runs, long-distance passes. It doesn't matter. In the Pro Bowl, big plays are what we're all looking for.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Back out is the AFC offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Mahomes used to moving quickly in college, trying to get his guys to the line.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. 57. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Final shot before the half for Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. So we've reached halftime of the 29. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The NFC offense heads out to begin this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, but you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league. NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition in practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the gun on third down, Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the AFC will have it 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The AFC offense now heading out for their first drive of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And this defense continues to dominate. How about 2 safeties in one game here?
You don't even put that on your goal sheet. This is something that results when you're playing really well on defense and the offense has nowhere to go with the football. Dominating performance.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 24 yards.
There's a good push to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. 2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in for the touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 92 yards, and the AFC able to cut into the lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the podcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The offense for the NFC back out there. And as it looks right now, granted you have to include the years where the legends pick the squads, but this NFC team is going to have a chance to come away victorious for the first time since January of 2013.
It's almost going to be like you hear in college. We hear the chant of SEC, SEC all the time because they take such great pride in their conference. I think you hear the NFC chant coming from those guys on the sidelines now. Would you say the first time since 2013? That's a long time for these guys, and they've taken a lot of ribbing from those guys in the AFC.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jones. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Xavier Howard. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
They go play action here on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Flushed out right, and he slides to avoid the hit. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a first down. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw, it's Mahomes. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The AFC thus far on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
54, right there, 54 miles.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining.
Ready? 95-56, 95-56.
Brees going to try and throw on third down. And he connects with Ertz. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Brees to Ertz for the NFC first. Well, he was so good throwing the football on third down during the regular season. Why wouldn't it carry over here to the Pro Bowl?
Sometimes that's just who you are, right? If you're good at something during, as you said, during the regular season, so what if it's with a bunch of guys you're unfamiliar with? It's third down. He finds a way to convert.
Brees now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Drew Brees with a kneel down, and that ought to do it.
5-9.
What? In the field like, yeah.